Before you grab your snowblower, did you know you could be breaking the law? Some Hayden homeowners recently learned the way they were blowing snow is actually illegal.
Doppler radar shows all the snow has ended across the inland northwest. Now I'm tracking dry but very cold weather. Your forecast is next.
Local skiers and boarders taking advantage of all this fresh snow, only not all of them are heading up to the mountain. We found this skier on High Drive.
And it's so close to home, it's fantastic. You got to take advantage of winter when it comes hard.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
And I'm Jane McCarthy. The next time you plow, shovel, or blow snow, you might want to make sure what you're doing is legal. Road crews in North Idaho tell us they're forced to remind homeowners there's a right way and an illegal way to remove snow.
Some people have been pushing snow back onto the road, which can be against state law. KREM 2's Taylor Vito is live in the mobile storm tracker tonight, and he explains what some crews are seeing out there. Taylor?
Well, yeah, guys, first off, we should start by saying most folks, most homeowners, and most snow removal people usually play by the rules. They do a good job. Let's take a look at this neighborhood in Hayden for an example. But not everyone has been removing snow the legal way. In one instance, the highway district here in Hayden had to call the sheriff's office on a guy. You've seen no shortage of these things. Now, fortunately, this guy had his shoe pointing the right way back at his property and not at the road, because blowing or shoveling snow back onto a road can be illegal.
Quite honestly, they're liable should anybody hit that and get hurt or hurt our plows or break our plows, anything like that.
Kelly Brownsberger of the Post Falls Highway District says his guys have seen a few examples of that. Nothing too bad, though.
They don't seem to be aware that it is illegal and that it is dangerous.
Here's a look at that state law. Titled Obstruction of Highways, it says it's illegal to place any kind of obstruction on a road, and crews say that includes snow.
If we can, we talk to the person that's doing it or the property owner and let them know that it is illegal.
Elsewhere in the county, it's been bad in the Lakes Highway District in Hayden. An employee there tells me they've had to issue over 250 of these postcards this season, telling homeowners to stop the way they've been removing snow. In one instance, a deputy was called on someone shoveling into the road. And while the problem is a normal one, the Lakes District says it's been worse this year. It's been a weird one, no matter where you head.
You know, December, January kind of give us the impression, winter's going to be pretty easy. We're not going to have any problems this year. February hit, and boy, was that wrong.
And these road crews emphasize that they've got a lot of territory to cover with limited crews. But back to the obstruction of highways law, if you violate that, you could be found guilty of a misdemeanor. In Hayden, Taylor Vito, KREM 2 News.
Taylor, thank you very much. Meantime, the city of Spokane, they have started a full city plow. It started this morning. Here's a look at their progress. So the blue, that shows where crews are working right now. The red is where they're headed next. And then any green areas you see, there aren't many quite yet. That's where they finished their work. So only some parts of the city have been completed. The city says crews will be working 24 hours a day until all city streets are plowed.
Well, it is a record many of us hope we don't break. This is now the second snowiest February on record for Spokane.
Yeah, it looks like first place, fortunately, is out of reach because we'd have to get a whole lot of snow in just a few hours, right, Tom?
We'd have to get about 10 more inches of snow. That's not going to happen, and thank goodness for that. But we did move from fourth place up to second place, and just barely, though, 29.8 inches of snow now officially here for 2019, and third place is 28.5 inches of snow. That was set back in 1975. So it looks like that record that was set all the way back in 1893 of almost 40 inches of snow in February is going to stand. And that's just fine with most people that I've talked to. Doppler radar shows we've got nothing going on east of the Cascades. We are dry, and now we're getting a return to cold weather. It's 25 right now, but overnight lows are going to dip down into the teens, and we'll look for weekend temperatures to actually dip down into the single digits. 14 the low tonight. We'll start out with sunshine on your Friday for the first day of March, and then we'll see increasing clouds towards the end of the day. For the weekend, lots of sunshine, freezing fog in the morning, but my gosh, look at those temperatures. 13 the low Saturday morning, 18 degrees, the low on Sunday morning. Also going to be windy, so I think we're probably going to have to deal with some blowing snow, especially out in those rural areas where there's plenty of farmland. So be aware of that. I'll have a look at your complete 7-day outlook in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Tom. President Donald Trump is back in Washington, D.C. after his much-anticipated second meeting with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, and that ended with no deal.
The goal of the summit was to get North Korea to agree to denuclearization.
They wanted the sanctions lifted in their entirety, and we couldn't do that.
Members of Congress from both parties praised the president for walking away.
It's good that the president did not give him anything for the little that he was proposing.
The president has indicated he wants to continue talks with North Korea, but he did not give a timetable on when those talks could resume.
The president's former personal attorney, Michael Cohen, finished up day 3 of his hearing on Capitol Hill today. Excuse me, his meeting with the House Intelligence Committee lasted several hours, and the media was not allowed inside.
Not much I can say. Other than it was very productive. As I said, I'm committed to telling the truth.
Some Republicans are accusing Cohen of lying during the hearing. They have asked the Justice Department to investigate that. Cohen will return to give more testimony next week. Governor Jay Inslee is expected to make a big announcement tomorrow. Sources close to him say he is likely to announce that he is running for president.
Amy Moreno talked with a political analyst about what to expect tomorrow and the weeks ahead.
He is incredibly good running. He's a very strong candidate.
Governor Jay Inslee heading to a national stage, likely running for president. Seattle University political science professor Marco Lowe says it's been in the works for years.
He has had a PAC for some time. He has been on a national stage with the Governors Association. So he has taken all the right steps to get ready to run for president, going back even 2 years if you know what you're looking for.
I've listened to the first grade teachers that don't want to be pistol packing first grade teachers.
Last year, Inslee used a visit to the White House to challenge President Trump face to face, and he's worked hard since then to get his name out, often pushing issues surrounding the environment.
I think grabbing an issue that matters and polls incredibly well and owning it. I mean, everybody is concerned about climate change, but it's his issue. It's been his issue for more than a decade, and he's not going to let anybody have it.
That issue could help him stand out against an increasingly crowded pack of Democratic candidates. But there's no doubt he has some obstacles to overcome.
Washington State, we are a corner of the country, so he has a great issue, but he needs to get out in Iowa and New Hampshire in particular, and then the states coming up afterwards, and be able to say, here's how I can win, here are the issues that I'll run on.
A presidential campaign would likely mean extensive travel, but Lowe doesn't foresee problems at home.
He'll be traveling, he'll be on the road, but you can do a lot of things on the road as governor. He has a very strong team in Olympia. He can talk to them at any moment in the air or on the ground. And we're in session, and I imagine he'll be flying back to sign legislation.
An official announcement is expected to come Friday, and it seems the timing is right.
We are looking at an Iowa caucus in January. So we are already in February. We're 11 months away. So if that's really your first important race, no, right now is when you need to get in there.
And Inslee would be the first Washington politician to run for president in more than 4 decades.
Politico is reporting that he's already hired multiple advisors and campaign veterans.
A Spokane viewer reached out to us saying she's been trying to get an abandoned car in front of her house towed for weeks now. When she called 311, she says she was told they had a huge backlog and it'll likely be a while before they get to her complaint. So we looked into it and found there is a backlog of hundreds of complaints. We'll tell you the reason for that backlog and what the city is saying about it coming up new at 6 to 9.